Welcome to the Super Facts Show on the Super Facts Network. Featuring St. Laz, who also hosts the popular web series Gem Pop and music journalist Mark Walter Ward. They have discussions about hip hop, culture, society, philosophy, and everything else. Now available on YouTube and wherever else you get your podcasts. What up, world? It's your boy Mark Walter Ward, Super Facts Show, Super Facts Network. Today we got with us the street politician, one of the really leading figures, somewhat behind the scenes, in front of the scenes as an artist, as Ron Paul. You also might know him as one of the most superlative sequencing mixtape DJs in the history of the platform, Mr. Crack. What's up, brother? How you doing today?
I'm doing good. And yourself?
Man, I'm chilling. You know, I was fascinated with the mixtape era because, like, you know, I was in the DMV and we really only had go-go, and you know, I started getting my hands on like Clue tapes in the 90s, and I started doing a little bit of time, and I came home and it was CDs, but you know, I guess Pro Tools that came along and cats could press their own CDs, so there started being like mixtapes you could only get in the region and all that type of stuff. And I know you had some special knowledge of this because you know, one of the last ones left and definitely one of the biggest online mixtape sites ever was Mix Unit. And I remember you used to get a copy of this Ron Paul Street Politician if you ordered over like $50. So you know, like clearly you had some involvement with him. So what can you tell me about all that?
Well, as far as Mix Unit is concerned.
Yeah, and I'm also curious, like, because when I saw that, I was like, he's smart as shit, because people gonna hear that, like it. I know you had a Max B feature, and then you had like five ones for sale on the site. So you know, you was giving away the first sample, and then they was coming back and copping them.
Well, what happened with that was, you know, with my first mixtape, you know, Mix Unit was a big site, you know, in the mixtape circuit in the game at the time. You could still hear they shout outs on certain big mixtapes back in the day between Who Kid and 50 Cent,
Gangsta Girls, all that shit.
Gangsta Girls, you got Uncle Murder and Green Lantern. So, you know, when you come, it's with anything in life, when you come in the game, you got to study and try to figure out a way the crack through at the top, you know, because it's a difficult task. But if you're not prepared to financially spend the money to get you to that point, then it's not going to be easy, because you got to look at it realistically. I'm going to this big platform with my CD, and I'm just starting out trying to build a fan base. They're not going to sit here and pay me for something that fans haven't demanded or asked for like that. So you have to put up, put the CDs up, to get your music out there and heard. So my thing was, you know, if I had to find, basically it's not a loss, you know, it's just part of promotion and stuff. You just had to you put your money up and you get it in and you got it to them. So free is always enticing to, you know, anybody. You know, nobody's really gonna say no to that and stuff, because it doesn't cost them anything and stuff. But Mix Unit came up with the idea as far as if you purchase a certain amount, you'll get a free Ron Paul CD. That was their idea.
I mean, I caught more, bro. The only reason I got that one on hand was because it was in a Dipset book, because it got a Max B feature. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'd have to dig through mad shit, but I got at least three other ones. I got the one that was like Ron Paul for president, I think.
I think that was the 2012 Campaign for Liberty mixtape.
Yeah, something like that.
A cover.
I don't know if you remember, but like, you was dumb surprised I didn't know who Ron Paul was. And you know, to be real with you, bro, when all this Fauci Rand Paul shit, every time I see that, I think about that.
Well, you know, I'm always amazed that people that the music was able to reach and who actually like it, because you do get people who don't like it, and that's, you know, that's gonna be the case with all artists. It's artists that I don't like. So you got to accept that it's going to be people that don't like that like you. So I'm fascinated that when people who do like it and reach out and show support. So that's why I was in awe at that moment.
So, and I don't know about the long run. Let's say on a case by case basis, were any of these projects lucrative to you? Was it worth it? And like, what's the grind of a mixtape artist like? Because I know that you used to perform and all that too, right?
But not so much as far as the performing part. I never really believed that performing gets you to the next stage. Performing is supposed to be where you make money, they pay you to perform. But as far as
you wasn't trying to do that paying to open up shit. That's a scam.
Yeah,
that's a scam like shit.
I mean, no, it's not a scam. I always believe it was pointless and worthless because it doesn't translate into people liking you or buying your music like that. They hear you for one time and that was that. But I wouldn't say it's a scam because you know what you're paying for.
Man, but half the time they perform at like 7 and the headliner perform at like 3 in the morning. You know
yeah. Well, the promoter don't care and stuff. He just wants the money. I don't blame him. It's no different from me paying to get on any of the other DJs mixtapes and stuff. Like, I didn't pay them cash directly for it. I would just buy the CDs that I was on off of them and took other ones from them in exchange for the slot. So, but I felt as though if I was, you're gonna spend some money, that is something that is more beneficial because you're on a CD with all the other artists. So more than likely people is going to hear you on that CD. And on top of the fact, those mixtapes are still out there amongst people that bought them during that time. People lose them, but you could go download a White Owl mixtape, a Superstar J mixtape, and you're going to still hear my song on it to this day.
Yeah.
And so I still go to the, that Piff and, buy mixtapes like and listen to my old songs off of the mixtapes. Because sometimes I don't feel like scanning through my hard drive looking for older songs. It's just easier to go to those websites and listen to them there.
How was the hand-to-hand grind with them?
Well, as I'm not a big hand-in-hand person as far as directly to the customers and stuff and trying to sell it to them that way. I just don't have that personality. I'm a little more reserved and conscious about, approaching people. I'm not too good with dealing with rejection and stuff. Somebody say no, I mean, take it personal, not where I want to fight, but like, feel some kind of way. Like,
I can dig it.
And, so my hand-in-hand grind was getting a song on the DJ's mixtape or being Mr. Crack and making a mixtape and then putting my song on a song where it's 50 Cent, Uncle Murder, Stack Bundles, and Max B and all those songs are on that mixtape. Take that to the store and say, hey, you interested in a mixtape? Would you like to buy it? Maybe, and they say, all right, cool. They take 10, 20 copies of it and they sell it to theirs. That was more beneficial to me more than anything and stuff. That's what, as far as hand-in-hand, my hand-in-hand was wholesale to the stores versus it wasn't like standing outside and trying to sell it to people directly. I never did that.
So you wasn't a curve server. You was making drops.
Yeah.
I can dig it. Yeah. I can dig it. Hey, so what led to the transition from, or not even the transition? Let's make it 2 parts. What made you stop being an artist?
Well,
I mean, I know you never stopped. What stopped?
I did stop. I stopped in, I would say 2015. I believe somewhere between September and October and stuff around that time. Well, what happened was when I've been selling CDs since 2000s. Since I would say the first CD that I mean not the first CD I sold, but how I know it had to be around the 2000s because I remember some guy walked up to me, asked me did I wanted to buy the Mobb Deep Infamy album. It was the bootleg before the official album came out, so it had to be around when the Infamy album dropped and stuff. And that's a couple of days or weeks later, that's when I decided to start selling CDs. So at that particular point in 2000, I mean, the mixtape game is crazy on the streets. You know, everybody's listening to mixtapes and stuff. You got 50 Cent ushering in at that moment and promoting it and stuff. So at that particular moment, dealing with selling mixtapes, and I was selling before I was selling mixtapes to my homeboys and stuff that I knew and stuff that was into 50 Cent or Mobb Deep and all that type of stuff. So I was doing that as far as hand in hand.
And you was up in Connecticut?
Yeah, and stuff. So
and just in case, because bro, like, my fault to interrupt you, but everybody don't know everything. And Connecticut has a humongous hip hop scene. I mean, check the Coke Wave DVDs if you don't believe me. They on YouTube.
Yeah, it's humongous. If you ask me, 50 Cent was able to really build his fan base in Connecticut and stuff. I mean, and push through as he was going through Connecticut. I won't say that Connecticut was the sole driving force behind getting him a deal, but I will say Connecticut was the driving force in getting Max B to reach that level of success and stuff, because he was hot down here than he was in Harlem. But the backtrack into the mixtape game, why I went back to the early 2000s, is because when you as 50 Cent is coming in and stuff, and it became mixtapes at its peak, because now you got a mixtape rapper that was blackballed out of the industry with a record deal, and he's selling millions of records and stuff. It really made mixtapes even that bigger. So I comes into at that particular time.
Well, I mean, to be fair though, bro, the set was putting out mixtapes before that.
Yeah, but Dipset wasn't that popular. I mean, it was popular, but it just was never to the extent of a 50 Cent and stuff. They still had their fan base. They actually, to tell you the truth, Dipset was the first one.
See, that's regional.
To make a first official mixtape.
See, that's regional though, bro. Because like down south, there was definitely more Dipset than G Unit.
Well, I don't. You know, I can't say, because I wasn't too privy to that information at the time.
But then, like, you know, conversely, if you went west, there was way more G Unit than any other East Coast music. You know what I mean? So it really was about where you was at, or like Texas was self-contained. They wasn't even trying to get their music out. They was good where they was at.
Yeah. So you never know. Every region has its own who they mess with and who they don't mess with. So you know that's all. That's even till today and stuff. Because by the time I started going to Atlanta and distributing, getting my mixtapes down there, you know, it was certain mixtapes that the people wasn't too fond of. You know, particularly East Coast mixtapes, like East Coast rappers and ATL. They was, I believe, they became extremely biased towards East Coast rappers due to years of criticism by in the East, where, you know, people calling them slow or dumb. So now I
think a lot of that though was fabricated, because look at Gangstar working with Scarface. There was tons of collaboration amongst different regions. You know, I think a lot of that shit.
Well, you know, everything could be exacerbated. You know, you may get a whack artist, you know, and whack artists come from
anywhere.
Coast.
Yeah,
exactly. So it ain't a particular place. It's just that it seemed like it was an influx of Southern rappers at a particular point that just dumbed the music game down. So, you know, but remember, they was the ringtone bammers.
You know what I'm saying? I feel you. They did dumb it down. You know,
so
that's why they're not legacy artists, though. You know,
those are songs that are gone. But you know, that's why New York was always criticizing rappers from different regions. Remember they was dissing NWA and stuff, you know, because they had Jerry curls and all that.
Shit, they was dissing Schoolie D down in Philly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So I mean, it doesn't mean everybody was with it, but people could take things personal, especially when they see criticism coming from a particular coast all the time and stuff. And it feel like, damn.
And then, you know, a lot of the issue was the radio stations more so than anything. They're like, damn, why we can't crack the rotation, which is so ironic now because when you listen to New York radio and they ship a Southern music.
Yeah, right, exactly. They was able to both them, but the music was dumbed down to the point for them to be able to crack through. You know, so time, I don't blame
did you ever come around on 2 Chainz? Because I remember we had several arguments about that online.
No, I still feel the same way about him.
I mean, you at least gotta give him some longevity credit.
Well, I don't really consider longevity in the game today as anything substantial as far as credibility of an artist and stuff, you know.
I mean, maybe not a lyricist, but certainly a performer.
I mean, if you just saying dumb stuff, man, I'll give you an example. Maybe I don't remember every last lyric, but I remember this one. This one still stands out. He has a line like, I got 2 pinky rings, 2 bitches with me. I need 2 ding-a-lings.
That's fire.
That's corny. Like, who the fuck says ding-a-lings? I ain't say ding-a-lings, sister. I was
I mean, you got a point there. I mean, everybody got their Putin moment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I just not feeling that and stuff. It was just line at the line. Now, look, don't get me wrong. I do have, and I'm not singling out Southern artists and stuff because at a particular moment, I was extremely into No Limit, Master P, Silk the Shocker, and all of them. So
that's a different animal though. And hey, look, at least you got the courage of your convictions, because you know most of the people who I used to have that discussion with have come around on 2 Chainz being dope. You the only holdout. So I admire a man.
Well, I can't unless the only thing that would change my opinion is if he improved. I used to think Lil Wayne wasn't that good, and then he improved with his Squad Up mixtapes, and then I became a fan of Lil Wayne.
I mean, French Montana got way better.
I don't think so.
Shit, he got way better than how he was freestyle rapping when he was all skinny on one of them DVDs.
I don't know. I'm
gonna send you the link after this, Joe, and I guarantee you'll agree with it.
Well,
because I mean, if nothing else, he had Puff help on that DVD. He was by himself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you know particularly to you, what led to the transition to them being a DJ? Because like as Mr. Crack, I mean, I guess I can't tell by numbers or nothing because I cop them from Mix Unit because you know I still like collecting shit. But like your Vado series was phenomenal, your Cameron series was phenomenal, and I always had the impression that you was one of the most popular DJs, at least on the Mix Unit site.
I can't say. I'm not too particularly sure who was popular.
I mean, you was well. Fuck all that, Dan. You was great at putting them shits together. Like that Harlem Hustler Jones, they went together. And you know, I still can't get 1 or 2. That shit pissed me off.
I probably got it in my stash somewhere. I probably had to look for it. So I still collect all of them as much as I can.
But definitely make sure you should be proud of those because like I know that it takes effort to find all them rare songs and put them together because them shits just wasn't like a reshuffling of the main songs, you know.
Well, you know, the thing was getting the songs was easy at that time. I had a site that posted them, stayed on top of all the new stuff when it dropped. The problem was the time-consuming part was editing the mixtapes. You know, adjusting the volumes so they could be, when you play them, it would be loud enough because sometimes the track would be too low or it'd be too high. Really, I adjusted the bass so it could be properly
And then when you make it high, it sound all like fucked up and shit.
Yeah.
So I know
So,
what you're talking
you know,
about.
you can never get them, especially if the song is distorted a lot. You could never get them perfect because you don't have the Pro Tools session to really adjust them. So you can only do as much as you can with them. But
Yeah, it's
that
not
was
too
the
much you can
time.
do with an MP3.
Yeah, that was the time consuming part the most that that I had to deal with that I didn't like. Plus, when you sitting there and you making about 8 to 10 mixtapes and stuff, you're doing probably about like 2 or 4 a day and stuff because I'm a last minute kind of person. So and so, you know, it becomes extremely aggravating. But
Who was
you know,
doing the graphics? Were you doing your own graphics?
no, I paid somebody else. I think the kid name was Nano GFX.
Was that a smooth transition or transaction?
Well,
Because
yes.
I've had my issues with graphic designers. Go check me out at Mark Walter Award Artwork. I ended up becoming my own graphic designer. I ended up doing covers for Snoop and Future. True story. All starting from me being fed up with waiting on graphic designers and not liking it.
Well, we bumped heads because what happened was when he started out, he was fresh, so he wasn't that good and stuff. So we was only paying him about like $20 a cover, front and back. So as time went on and stuff, and he got better, he wanted to go up. So I didn't even want to pay him with the markup price because simply because just to keep all the money to myself, it just wasn't profitable like that.
Right. The overhead, you're a businessman.
Yeah, exactly. So when he had we stopped messing with him because he went up and he came back around and then dropped the price back down to the 20. He was happy to get the money, but he was pissed off. He was disgruntled.
Right.
And so,
well, I mean, to his credit, a lot of those covers, like definitely one of the vital ones I would wear a t-shirt of.
Yeah. So he did. I'm not sure who. I had to look at the name on the back. I believe he did it. Maybe I did it some way out with somebody else because Vado was a big mixtape. My fault. Because Vado was a big mixtape.
It just goes black when that happens. I can still hear you.
Oh, all right then, because I had received the incoming call.
Yep.
So, hey Max. Hold on a second. I gotta text somebody.
You was talking about the Vado was a big series.
Yeah, it was a big series because I invested a lot into it at that particular moment with Vado. But he had, so I don't know if he did that cover. Maybe he did, but I would have to take a look at the cover. I know I want that cover was fire, especially with having a host the mixtape.
Yeah, no doubt. So you stopped doing it though. There's no more Mr. Crack mixtapes, right?
And hurry up and get her out. Come on. Hello?
Yes, sir.
All right. Yeah, the Vado was a big mixtape for me. So it was something that I really wanted to make sure that everything was right with that one.
Got you. And so, but you stopped. There's no more Mr. Crack mixtapes anymore, right?
Yeah, I stopped officially doing Mr. Crack mixtapes. I believe maybe 2018 or 19. I had a falling out with the cover designer. So yeah.
Do you have any finished ones that's unreleased that just need a cover?
Nah. It's only one mixtape, but it's the Ron Paul Hartford CT mixtape. I was almost finished with completing that and stuff, and then I just backed out.
Well, if you ever change your mind, I got you on the cover on the house. So to finish it up, if you don't mind me asking, what are you doing now, and are you still involved in music in any fashion?
No, as far as the music, and I'm not involved in the only way as far as some involvement would be just selling CDs at my store and stuff.
Oh, so you got a store?
Yeah, I got a clothing store.
Oh, that's what's up.
So
shit, shout it out.
Oh, T's Boutique in Hartford, Connecticut, 2576 Main Street. You know, check us out. You know, I still press up some of my old mixtapes and sell them at the store.
Okay, well, let me know next time you do. I'll cop some.
You know, people still buy them. I think that. All right. The whole thing is, like I said, mixtapes last forever as long as you keep putting them out. So those old White Owl, Superstar J, Big Mike mixtapes, you know, I could always put those back out onto the streets and stuff, and with my songs on there, I'll get heard.
Shit, that'd be
it's
dope.
Still probably thousands. I mean, 9,000 millions of people who didn't even hear on for the mixtape. So I'm really underground to units. So you know, I'm content with what I did on that mixtape game stuff. That contributed on top of the fact that when I got into the mixtape game, I got into the mixtape game late.
Oh, that's the end of that. That's all right. Ooh. So yeah, it cut out right after the you told about the clothing store.
Yeah, I know. Like I said, with the clothing store, I could always put those mixtapes back out and keep them alive as long as I'm selling CDs and stuff. So I'm happy with my involvement in the game, even though I got in late and stuff. But I'm happy I was able to do what I did during the beginning and take off during the digital age.
Word.
And stuff, you know, because I'm still doing good with CDs and stuff all the way to 2017.
Yeah, that's what's up.
You know, and I can still do it today if I wanted to. It'll be a lot of work and a lot of searching for stores, but it is what it. I mean, but I don't have that type of drive that I once did when I was younger.
No, I can dig it. Me neither. Nah, bro, I appreciate your time. I just wanted to talk to you about this because basically the whole time I was aware of mixtapes and CDs, I was aware of your involvement in some shape, form, or fashion. So I was just curious as to what your whole perspective of the mixtape era was. So thank you for shining some light on that for us.
Yeah, but it's no problem. I appreciate you talking to you, man. Anytime you want to do it, I'm here.
No doubt. Shit, definitely. If you ever finish that album, I don't know if you heard me. Like I said, I got you on the cover. And
all right.
And shit, holla at me if you find any of them old CDs. You know, white people collect shit. I still want all that.
Yeah, I got you. Ain't no problem. I take a see which ones I still have around and inbox you about it.
All right, that's a bet. Hey, what's your Instagram?
My Instagram is T's Boo, BOOUTIQUE. So it's like boutique. T's Boutique. And so that's my Instagram, but it's mainly dedicated to the clothing and stuff. Right now.
So I'll hit you up on Facebook then.
Yeah.
All right, that's a bet. Well, shit, thank you for your time, bro. I appreciate it.
I appreciate it too. Thank you.
No doubt, man. You take it light.
Yep.
All right. Peace.